Hi friends, today we're going to talk about adding melodic and rhythmic interest to your lines using odd note groupings, and those groupings will be in fives against 4/4 time. So since 4/4 is by far the most common time signature we hear in Western music, we'll use this, but it can be applied to really any time signature. But what we're attempting to do is add some different rhythmic cycles through accents and subdivision to give more dynamic nature to improvisations. What we're going to talk about is taking a 2-bar phrase in 4/4 time with a subdivision of triplets to start with, and breaking those triplets up into groups of 5. So we're going to accent the first of each group of 5 to overlay this like polyrhythmic type of feel. So if we have a pulse, a quarter note that's roughly around here, and by the way, you can work on this stuff to get the feeling of it in your body even without your instrument. Particularly walking is a good thing. You can walk and use your feet as your metronome and your hands as playing these rhythms. So one thing you could use to internalize this, because really the goal here is not to play licks or anything like that, but to internalize these feelings, so that these rhythmic cycles, so that you can superimpose them in your improvisation. So if we have I'll overlay some different things, some notation and probably some tab as we go today, but we're going to start again with 4/4 time, 2-bar phrases, triplet based, and see where our cycle lands. So we're going to have 3 groups of 5 landing on beat 2 of the second bar, and that would give us this rhythm that I'll overlay here for you. And we want to accent the first of each group of 5 and get that feeling of what that's like. So I'm going to play a vamp. One easy way to do this that might be helpful is to play a simple vamp, record yourself playing a vamp or with your metronome, whatever, and play groups of 5 very simply and repetitively. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is play a simple vamp in A Aeolian with the triplet bass. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Right? And one thing you can do is just play a simple, let's play descending down the A Aeolian scale 5 notes, and repeat those 5 notes 3 times, and we're going to see where we land. 2, 2, 3, 4. So this is the rhythm I overlaid. Right, so you can do that as a simple exercise, scalar, ascending, descending, whatever, any sort of groupings you want, just to get that feeling. Da, 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 da. Right? It's got this feel of superimposing time that is really what we're going for. So you could do something like keep going down the scale. So just a way to get that into your body. Okay, now we're going to do the same idea, but with 16th notes as our subdivision. Still playing in A Aeolian and still playing descending 5 notes, but they're going to lay across the 2 bars of 4/4 a little bit different. And again, I'll overlay this so you can see those rhythms, but here's what that might sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, the idea here being just to accent that first note of each group to get that feeling into your body. Now, circling back to what I played at the very beginning was just to extend that idea rather than just purely scalar. I just thought I'd try some different things, and again, I'll lay out the notation and probably the tab for you in this one too. But what I wanted to do was look at ways to incorporate some arpeggios and even some right hand technique with this idea of odd note groupings, to combine a lot of different things to be able to practice at once. So what I did at the intro, we'll go through slowly here, was just an A, and again I'm in A Aeolian. So I'm going to play an A minor 9 arpeggio. Those are my 5 note groups. So basically 2 notes per string, 1 note per string, 2 notes per string. So an A minor 9 arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my 5. Right? Then I'm going to go to the next string, starting on D, and play the same D minor 9 arpeggio. It's in the same key as A Aeolian. So there's my second arpeggio. Then I'm going to go here. This isn't really another A minor arpeggio. I'm not so concerned with playing arpeggios from that scale. I'm very concerned with playing notes from that chord scale, but they don't have to spell out any particular chord. So here I'm playing A, C, E, F, and A. So sort of like an F major 7 arpeggio, starting on the A. And then finally a D, E, G, B, and D. So an E minor arpeggio starting on the 7th. So those are the notes I'm playing in groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now, how does this lay over 4/4? And this is where it gets a little bit more tricky because the phrase extends beyond the 2 bars. So I'm going to play up and down. I'll put my metronome back on and slow it down a little bit so we can kind of hear this a little bit more clearly. I was at 130 to start with. I'll go down to like 100 or something. And the idea here is what I'm going to do is attempt to accent the first note of each group of 5 and keep the thing going until it comes around again to itself, however long that is. And we'll see how long that is as I'll show you the notation. So here's it a little bit slower. So taka 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 ta. So that's what I did at the beginning, just a little faster. But it was a way to kind of combine some of the techniques and some of the ideas into working on not just single lines, but arpeggios. Well, they are single lines, but to introduce some arpeggios rather than just being purely scalar. And for those who are, maybe slightly new to this, maybe the technique might be worth mentioning, especially the right hand of playing 2 downstrokes, downstroke, a hammer on, a downstroke, and then using my middle finger to pluck the 4th string. So I kind of continue that pattern. with the middle finger to pluck the string, but then 2 downstrokes on the adjacent strings. So anyway, thought this might be some content that some could find useful. It's really opened some doors to be able to play these almost like waves, right? These waves of rhythms, and the bar lines start to disappear. So it's a very fun thing to experiment with. So give it a shot and let me know what you think.